This week we will be looking at a game that's name, for some reason, has the often not used character of the backtick in place of the apostrophe. And if you don't know what a backtick is, it is the button right under most people's escape button, unless you have a wonky keyboard. It also has the tilde key on it, which I will put on the screen. Some people just call that squiggle line. Anyway, next Thursday, I believe, is going to be the start of the Steam Winter Sale, which is the big one, which usually has some kind of a mini game or some kind of something, and you'll be able to get extra badges if you're interested in upping your Steam level and such. So be prepared, and it also usually means the historically lowest of the low prices on almost any game that you would want to buy, except for those few games like Factorio and RimWorld, which never go on sale. Anyways, let us get to today's game. Here's the title screen for Hell's Little Story. Instead of the game's name, what we see is Gameron or Gameron 12. So before we get into the game, let's find out what that's all about. Googling it led me to this Russian site, and the translation seems to say that it's some sort of a timed competition where folks make games for some sort of a theme. And the 12th competition, the theme was Size Matters. Oddly though, when I look at the games that were in the competition, Hell's Little Story isn't there. And as you'll see later, it certainly fits the theme, so it was made for this competition. Maybe they missed the deadline, or I don't know what the deal is, but they're not on the list. Clicking on the links of the other games in the list though, you're taken to this other Russian site where you can download the games. And Hell's Little Story is on the site, and you can seemingly download it for free, but since I have it on Steam, I'm not going to re-download it off of some Russian site. So here are the controls. I can barely read them because there's some weird gamma happening, but here we go. We got to get big and small, it looks like, which is that Size Matters theme. We've got audio for collecting the coins, but unfortunately there is no sort of signal when you take damage from this ghost that I will do right now, because I barely saw it, because once again I don't know, the gamma on this game, I think that's what it's called, is just so wonky. You gotta get small and get through this tube here, but yeah, you got noises for picking up coins, so clearly the ability to add in sounds on the events is there, just not for taking damage, so you just have to be aware of that and pay attention to the upper left hand corner and make sure you're not about to die. Sometimes I wasn't really aware that I was hitting the ghost, so it's better just to get super small and avoid hitting the ghosts. The gameplay is a little slow, so you know I love to do it. I'm gonna speed up the video and we're actually gonna get to see the full game. So this is at 300% mode, and in case you missed it, in this level we actually have to switch a lever before we can use the exit. And these guys we just have to jump over, so that's exciting. You know, 300% might be a little too fast, but no, I'm gonna go with it. So there were spikes on that thing and I avoided it. This one we needed to get a key and we can squish the green guys. Now I make the terrible mistake of not realizing that Pit of Doom back there was actually the way I needed to go, and this is so embarrassing. This is so slow and tedious to find out. Thankfully I have sped up the video, and here is a little elevator we can get teeny tiny on and just get up in there and get the key. And guess what? Now we gotta go all the way back and get big and small and squish things on our way back to the door. Oh my goodness, this is adding so much time to the gameplay. Well, get big, getting small, blah blah blah, on to level 4. Now this time I knew better. Go straight down the pit, use some stuff. We gotta hit our head on this big thing here, and I guess this is just a bunch of coins and probably invincibility things. There was nowhere that said how many invincibility things I had. Just for giggles, I'm going to add some gamma correction because you actually can't really see what's even happening here without it. And wow, I can see the level thing, and let's buy some invincible things. And back to ungamma corrected. Oops, accidentally hit escape too much. Wow, it's hecka dark, and I guess I'm running down here. Getting big and then getting small. Super exciting times here. It's a little bit of a maze, I guess. Gotta find the stuff. Was this the stuff? It looked like that was the button. It's so dark, I can't tell what the heck is going on here. And I did not feel like adjusting my monitor or dealing with these guys, so I used what is probably one of 50 bazillion invincible things I have, because I've found a few, I believe. I believe those red things were invincibility fellas, but anyway, getting back up here, a little difficult, and I'm gonna go over here, squish these guys, go under these guys, and hey, that wasn't the way to go. How embarrassing. It turns out I have 1 heart left. Hopefully I can get to the door, which was right at the beginning. Alright, let's buy more invincibility thing. So some final details about this game. You may have noticed in the bottom right hand corner a little thing popping up for each level, which was some Creative Commons music that the developer decided to include, but I didn't want to listen to it, and I didn't want you to have to listen to it because, I don't know, it didn't really fit the game. It was just free music that they found. Okay, go in here and get this key. And also, the game forces itself to full screen. You can't play it windowed. However, it is 640 by 480, and since I have widescreen, it was stretched all weird. And here's my most embarrassing death, going through there and dying. The end.